All right, who's coming along on the $1 Million Bogan Lifeline Australia motorcycle ride? What I'm going to cover in this video today are some tips that you can do yourself that are going to help you with your mental health. Quick video today on mental health. We've got the $1 Million Bogan Lifeline Australia motorcycle ride coming up on the 15th of January. I hope you will all be there. He's trying to raise some money for Lifeline Australia, which is a noble cause because mental health is, let's say, extremely important. We've probably all suffered from the effects of mental health at some stage or another. So Lifeline Australia is a service that provides support for people in crisis. They are there to help prevent suicides. Now, suicides are very prevalent across the world. I think stats show that 8.6 people a day commit suicide. That's probably twice as much as the number of people dying via car accidents. 75% of those people that commit suicide are men. I'm guessing that most people, either once in their life or periodically, suffer from some mental health issues. Now, it's an interesting topic because there is a stigma attached to it. I know people are saying, oh, you know, speak up, etc. But a lot of people can't speak up about it. A lot of different groups, organisations and communities support it. Yet if men speak up about this issue, they are stigmatised. So what I'm going to cover in this video today are some tips that you can do yourself that are going to help you with your mental health. So the ride is coming up on the 15th of January and it starts in Geelong, which is a long way away from me. And I believe it goes to Apollo Bay, which is along the Great Ocean Road, even further away from here. If anyone's riding out from the eastern suburbs, give me a shout out. Perhaps we can ride in together. I might go down there a few days early and have a bit of a holiday. I'm not sure yet, even though it's coming up quickly. So do-it-yourself tips, here they are. How do I know about this? Why can I do this? Well, I've been paid over the years to help people with issues similar to this, whether that's anxiety, depression, mental health, and there are a lot of conditions that are related to this. I've suffered from this myself many times, so I do understand the topic intimately, and I think I'm well qualified to help you. So just listen in. If you think these tips are sensible, let me know in the comments. If you think one or more of these tips is a load of BS, as usual, type BS in the comments. And hopefully you can either help yourself from this video or you can help a friend that is in need. And hopefully I'll see you on the ride. So let's get into the tips. Tip number one, you've got to express what is on your mind or what is troubling you. Now, obviously, the easiest way to do this is to talk to someone else. That's where Lifeline comes into it. And of course, if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, talk to a friend. Now, what I've found interesting over the years is it's just the expression of it. You don't actually need to talk to another person. Sometimes just speaking it aloud, like lock yourself in the bathroom, look yourself in the eye in the mirror and talk, that actually does wonders. Now, a lot of people have trouble looking at themselves in the mirror for a variety of reasons. So just stand in the shower, turn on the hot water. You'll feel nice and comfortable and warm, and just talk. You can stay in there for a while and talk. You might have to do this over 20 sessions. It doesn't really matter. The point is expression, let it out, don't bottle it up. Now, number two, and this is very closely related to number one, by talking, you are going along the path of accepting what's happening. And that's one of the keys to resolving any problems that you have. That is accepting that something has happened. A lot of people get into strife or have drama in their life and or fall into depression or have anxiety and they just sort of ignore it. You know, there is an argument to be said to move on, look at something positive. But you've got to sort of accept the situation as it is. Don't dwell on it. Don't analyse it. Just look at it for what it is and accept it, because that is the first step in moving forward. How do you know when you're not accepting something? You're all emotional and you keep looking backwards and bringing up whatever the incident is that's happened to you. Now, number three is understand and learn about your inner world, what's happening up here. A lot of people live in what I would call a daydream, and they're not actually privy to what's occurring in their mind and what thoughts they're having. The way it works is this: something happens in the outside world, and that could be any event at all, and you have a thought about that. That thought is then processed, and you do this through your filter, which comprises of your past experiences, who you are, what you already believe about different things, and that creates a feeling. Now, you're supposed to feel that feeling, even if it's a bad feeling, you're supposed to feel it. That's how your body processes the events around you. If you don't feel, or if you have too many thoughts and you're in confusion, it generates what I would call an emotion. An emotion is different to a feeling. A feeling is what you can process and literally feel through your body. An emotion is when you're all muddled up here, you can't think straight anymore, you can't see what's actually happening. It's emotions that we've got to get rid of, and it's feelings that we want to keep. Now, when you have an emotion, it basically means you're stuck. So the first step in resolving any of this is to have the ability to look at what you're thinking and where these things are coming from and why they are being generated. You can only do that if you slow down and take the time to look internally. It takes practice. It can be difficult, especially at the start, but I guarantee you this becomes an automated process after a while. Now, number 4, and it's probably one of my favourites, exercise. No, let's not even call it exercise. Movement. We just spoke about emotions. One of the easiest ways to clear emotion is to go out and exercise. The more vigorous it is, based on your own personal standard, the more it helps to clear that emotion. Our bodies are designed for movement. The easiest way to fix that is exercise and movement. It's also very healthy, but I cannot stress enough how healthy this is for your mind. Now, if you don't like exercise, go for a bloody walk. But I don't mean a stroll along the park or the river and watching the butterflies. I mean a vigorous walk. Get yourself one of those watches like a Garmin, I think I've got. Time yourself. Make sure that you're improving over time. It will become a vigorous walk before you know it, and it will be good for you. And number 5, could be argued that this is one of the most important things. It's what you put into your body, in particular food, and for some of you, alcohol. The food you eat has a massive, and I mean massive, influence over your mental state of health. Now, a lot of people are eating processed foods. A lot of people are eating foods that don't suit their body type. This is a very complicated subject, and I really can't cover it in this video, but start with getting rid of processed foods and start watching how your body and mind react after you've eaten certain things. I guarantee you, I'm healthier than I've ever been. I hardly ever eat processed food. I don't drink very much at all. Get rid of wheat. In the last few years, I've actually scrapped most of the vegetables that I've been eating, and that takes you to another level. We're all taught that the food pyramid that the government issues is the correct way to eat. That is BS. I call that the poison pyramid. Once again, the topic is too detailed to go into today. It's enough to start with reducing dramatically alcohol. If you smoke, bloody well stop. You know, if you take recreational drugs, certainly stop those. It's usually the impurities that they're mixed with that destroy you. But more important than any of that, processed food, just stop, chuck it out. Like anything that's in a packet, just don't even look at it. So hopefully these tips will have helped you. You've got to apply something, even if you just take one of those tips. Secondly, I want you to realise that there are people who will help you, whether that's free or paid services. It doesn't really matter. You do what suits you, but you can get out of your rut. You can be helped. You can change your life. I've done it many times. I've had massive highs and I've had massive lows. You can do it. All right, so this is the bonus tip, and that is change your pattern physically. And this has a profound effect on people. If you're stuck in a particular situation or a way of thinking, let's say, for example, you're going through a period of depression, something that often helps me is I change my pattern of behaviour physically. Now, that can be very simple. So, for example, if you drive to work the same way every morning, go a completely different way. or ride a bicycle to work. If you ride your motorbike to work every day, drive a car. If you go to bed at 11 p.m, go to bed at 9 p.m. or 3 a.m. Do something different, change patterns in your life. If you go out with that group of people, go out with them instead. It doesn't really matter what it is, but do something different. It doesn't matter how big or how small the change is. Sometimes just one little change makes a difference. Sometimes you need to change a lot of the patterns in your life, but that physical change will have an effect on your mental health. All right, so I'll see you on the 15th of January in Geelong. Don't ask me where, it'll be on the $1 Million Bogans website or Facebook page, or it'll be easy to find. There'll be hundreds of Harleys there, right around Geelong a bit in the morning, and I'm sure you'll find it. So if you see me there on the 15th, which I know you will, don't forget to say hello, introduce yourself, show me your bike, etc. If you want to come on the channel, yell out.